Okay, in this video, I'm going to break down the topic of gematria, the most simple concepts for people watching my videos and getting confused. Okay, I know there's a couple people out there who are watching and they kind of don't understand some of the numbers and the things I'm talking about and the concepts, so I'm going to break some of those down for you. Gematria or gematria is an ancient practice of coding numbers into words. We live in a world of highly advanced computer coding, and even intelligence agencies like the CIA use a form of cryptography to communicate. But the base structure for that more advanced computer world of words and values is the gematrix, or the practice of gematria. Gematria is used by elites, handlers, and puppets of the New World Order to communicate messages and also to mark territory, almost like a logo, right? Numerology has a similar function to seeing an all seeing eye in a movie or on a show. It's a symbol of who was behind the orchestrated event. In the Mockingbird media, certain terms gain a mantra like presence in the minds of the masses. In today's video, I'm going to explain all the ciphers you see right in the Gematrinator and the Satanic, Sumerian, and Reverse Sumerian ciphers as well. First, this may seem like a silly prompt, but we have to get this out of the way. Numerology requires that we first agree that 2 plus 2 equals 4. That having 2 potatoes and adding 2 potatoes will get me 4 potatoes. Once we can all agree on that, you will realize the ease with which you can understand this discipline. Let's start with the English ordinal cipher. In English ordinal, A equals 1 or represents 1. In numerology, based on the cipher, a letter will represent a particular number. So in English ordinal, A equals 1, all the way up to Z equaling 26. English ordinal is the standard order of letters, right? So the number 33 is a number that is of high value to elite Freemasons who practice in English gematria, right? English is an important language to the elite because it is the language of the New World Order. Think about it. Everywhere you go in the world, almost every country can speak English as a second language. It will be the uniting language of the New World Order. 33 is of particular importance as it represents the death of Christ. He died at age 33. In a way, for the elites, it's a brag point. They killed the one with the connection to God and will do so again. Connection to God has a lot to do with the raising of the Kundalini energy through the 33 bone vertebrae column, activating your pineal gland. Think about what Jim Carrey's been talking about recently. The whole effort of the cult is to calcify this pineal gland, not only to calcify it, but control what it generates. Part of the reason we see so much of the same stories at once has to do with agenda, but also has to do with the literal impression that is made on the third eye or pineal gland. I hate to be so non-secular, but again, this is how they operate. My personal interests go deeper than religion, but those who are part of these satanic cults, that those in the mainstream refer to cleverly as the deep state, they are completely infatuated with these religious concepts that frankly span multiple religions. The big three are all Masonically controlled: Christianity, Judaism, and Islam. So like I said, 33 is a big deal in numerology. For instance, take K equals 11, right? K equals 11 in English ordinal, right? So if K equals 11, and I'm assuming you have the most basic understanding of math, if you punch it into the Gematrinator 3 times, right, you will get a result of 33. And you can click on the number to see the addition equation that creates the result. Could this be why we see KKK members burn the cross of Jesus? Look what I just showed you there. Can you see how understanding this number can help you understand the programming of certain groups and individuals? If anything, getting the KKK to burn a cross of Jesus is a mockery of them, not being able to understand divide and conquer. What is the concept of divide and conquer? The top 1% need to distract the mainstream society. The red and blue theory, Coke and Pepsi, blood and Crip, Republican and Democrat, or even male versus female, black versus white, team versus team, ideology against ideology. There are 2 purposes for this. One is to concentrate small amounts of limited power within a controlled group, and that control group needs a narrative focus to keep them on track. The intelligence term for that is limited hangout. An infotained group of individuals are fed a particular diet of information that literally keeps them limited from exploration outside of their own thought bubble. The development and curation of these thought bubbles is important, and the narratives have to be so compelling that a person is willing to defend to the death in a divided state their point of view. The second reason for divide and conquer is it is purely bred in circuses. All the most fun games in the world are played against a perceived other. These divide and conquer stories can merely be distractions for the people as well as important infotainment containers. So, now we understand the topic of divide and conquer. We also understand that the elite in a logo-like fashion mark the things they control. It's a form of communication. We understand this can also be done through numerology by examining the most basic number system, English ordinal. We have KKK, and that equals 33 in English ordinal. As I mentioned earlier, the KKK burn a cross. I'm sure, the Klan being Christians, this ritual confused many of you out there. But me, knowing that KKK equals 33 in English ordinal, I can now string back to what I know about the elites. What I know about the elites is that they are chiefly invested in divide and conquer, like how the KKK divides and conquers people, right? Or did they divide people, right? The Masons have always been KKK members as well. There are also rumors that Albert Pike, 33rd degree Master Mason, who has a statue and temple in Washington, D.C., was a KKK Grand Wizard himself. That's a rumor. But the burning cross to me seems to be the Masons marking their intellectual property, much like the symbol of the number, if you connect all the dots. Okay, so now we'll move on from English ordinal and go into reverse ordinal. Reverse ordinal is the reverse of English ordinal. So where Z equals 26 in English ordinal, Z equals 1 in reverse ordinal. So A equals 1 in English ordinal, right? A equals 26 in reverse ordinal. Okay, so we move on from ordinal and we open up the full reduction Pythagorean cipher. This is one of the most important ciphers to the elite and numerologists. It provides a lot of interesting results. In Pythagorean, A equals 1, similar to English ordinal, all the way up to I equals 9. The next letter, however, J, is equal to 1. In Pythagorean, no double-digit numbers are counted and the system repeats after 9. R is 9 in Pythagorean, then S is 1. Reduction is the cipher you will hear me refer to the most as there are many odd strings in it. We talk about masonry. Masonry equals 33 in reduction, like secrecy, like society. These are the kind of strings I'm talking about. Concepts that align along numerical symbols. The final set in what I call the base ciphers is reverse full reduction. Reverse is the same concept as reverse ordinal, but applied to the full reduction cipher. It is the reverse of the cipher. So where A equals 1 in full reduction, A equals 8 in reverse reduction. As in Z equals 8 in full reduction, Z equals 1 in reverse reduction. Okay, we're going to type the word master into the Gematrinator, observing all the base ciphers. If you notice the word master, there is a value of 22, but underneath it, there is no reduced number. This is because master is a master word, meaning a word with the Pythagorean value of either 11, 22, or 33. Master numbers cannot be reduced. But if we observe a word like mathematics, for instance, mathematics have reduced numbers that align cipher to cipher in the base 4. For instance, in reduction, mathematics is 40. 4 plus 0 equals 4, getting you a reduced number of 4. In ordinal, it equals 112, right? So we break it down, 1 plus 1 plus 2, which will get you 4. That's the reduced number of 4. The connection in these two ciphers is that they have a solitary numerical reduction that will get you the same thing. Observing the mere numerical order, the same process can be applied to the reverse of those ciphers. Most master Pythagoreans do not produce this pattern, but there are some exceptions, particularly with 11. If we look at the word numbers, for example, numbers has a matching Pythagorean and ordinal master number of 11. But let's take the word ringer, however. You can see all the reduced numbers matched based on the ordered results of the system. See, this is where the strings come in. This is where all these ciphers string together. One can deduce from following the logical order of information that there is undoubtedly a complex number letter system here, and the base 4 strings are the best way to see the competency of this model. There are also numerical ciphers outside of the base 4, and I'm going to break down 3 systems. Let's start with the Sumerian cipher, right? In Sumerian, A equals 6, B equals 12, C equals 18. So if you can follow the pattern, the letters in the Sumerian cipher all represent multiples of 6. The reverse Sumerian cipher would literally be the reverse of that, right? So you have Z equals 6, Y equals 12, etc. Okay, so let's take a word like occult and open it in both the English ordinal cipher and the Sumerian cipher. In English ordinal, occult is 74. 74 like the 4th of July. 74 and 47 are also big symbolic numbers to the occult. It represents the 4th of July. The 4th of July was huge to the occult because it established the military-industrial complex that America became, a major piece in the Trinity that was established along with the Vatican and the City of London. In a lot of ways, the foundation 47 in reduction for this New World Order. Let's also take a look at the reverse Sumerian cipher and reduction for the word Kennedy. Okay, if we type Kennedy into the Gematrinator, we get 33 for reduction and 666 for the reverse Sumerian cipher. We could punch in match and get all the words that match for this particular arrangement, and it's always fascinating to do that as well. Right. The last cipher I'm going to get into is satanic. And satanic is a very interesting form, right? 666 is the 36th triangular number, meaning when we add 1 all the way up to 36, it will get us a value of 666. This is important to note because both 36 and 666 are important numbers in satanic. A equals 36 in satanic. The reason this is so is because 666 is the 36th triangular number. So in satanic, you basically go in order from that point. A equals 36, B equals 37, C equals 38. If you put the word satanic gematria in the satanic cipher, you will get 666 as a result. Some other very interesting ideas will get you that result, including putting in the phrase, Christ is a robot. Elizabeth Trump, grandmother of Donald Trump, whose middle name was Christ, comes out to 666 in this cipher. The more you study, the more you realize there are no coincidences with this numerical system. This concludes my introduction into basic numerology concepts.